So, who likes CMON? Who likes the way they do their FOMO, as my buddy calls it, fear of missing out? If you wanted the Kickstarter exclusives with Marvel United, I am doing a giveaway. So, I did an unboxing video and somehow it got destroyed or corrupted, and I can't recover it. But I am going to give away this pretty much untouched copy of X-Men United, the Kickstarter exclusives, still sealed in box, packaging, well, it's mostly intact, and this X-Force expansion. So, one lucky winner, definitely going to get that. So they'll get the core game and the Kickstarter exclusives. And the second place is just going to get this X-Force. Because I don't really agree with how CMON does their FOMO thing. And honestly, I do need more subscribers, and I'm just going to bribe you like a normal YouTuber. So, if you want a chance to win your copy to do whatever you want with, please subscribe and like. And want to hit what I think is, I don't know, I'll pick a date to be determined, but I'm going to do a countdown. But if you like, subscribe, and leave a comment, I will put you in for the drawing. Hello everyone, so I picked up Disney Villainous. So we have our instruction book. So one of the new features they added was vehicles. I'm not sure if the Marvel one had vehicles, it had weird event stuff. But these vehicles can be attacked, and it's kind of neat because it opens up a fifth location. The abilities are pretty much the same, except they added a bunch of tokens. There's power tokens that add or plus minus strength, and there's a new currency called Ambition. So Ambition is one of the new things that lets you buy really powerful abilities, but I haven't opened all this stuff yet. But again, we got the really cool custom card backs. We've got Grievous here, Asajj Ventress, Darth Vader, Moff Gideon, and Kylo Ren. And I'm not exactly sure what these are, but they look like some objectives. So it came with this really neat tray, like I said, for the new tokens, which it is what it is. But it's kind of disappointing since the casting on these figures is kind of awful. Like Grievous here with this nub, and then I don't know why they put colored flakes. It kind of looks bad. Like you can see with Ventress here, there's I just don't really understand how they did this, but they're all marked up for some reason. And look at Vader, he just looks terrible. Not exactly sure why they chose to put these colored flakes in, but it doesn't really hurt the game. It's just cosmetics. At least Moff Gideon's really cool, since we got the Dark Saber, and then we got this Death Trooper on the back. So, you know, kind of iconic. And Kylo Ren's pretty cool looking. I do like the fact they took his lightsaber to do him. And he actually works for some reason, because I guess the white flakes don't come through as much. And of course, they punch out all the tokens, which is really nice, so I don't have to waste all my time with Punchboard. So, let's get to the stuff when I get it. So, in Villainous, while I've been playing this game, I have learned one thing. General Grievous is OP. And I say that he's OP because his thing is really just to hunt down Jedi and collect 8 lightsabers. So every time you fade him, it's full of Jedi. And he kills a Jedi, he gets a lightsaber. 2 of these Jedi, Ahsoka and Kit Fisto, have this little key phrase down here after he gets another. And there's only 2 of them, he needs to collect 8, and it's like, oh, well, that's not too hard. There's a lot of Jedi in the deck. But it's the fact that these guys are pretty easy to kill. The most painful card he has against him is his Under Repair. It really just slows you down, and he is money hungry. He needs money to support his battle droid army. Cool thing, Ambition really gets you a cost to saving them. Now, why is Grievous strong compared to some of the other characters? He has Dooku's orders. Cost 2 ambition. Reveal cards from deck until you reveal an ally. Play that ally for free at any location in your sector. Reveal cards from your fake deck until you reveal a hero and play them. So he can basically fish out characters to kill, and he gets free guys. That's why that's pretty strong. And honestly, ambition is really just used for maintenance to keep his droid army alive. He really doesn't use it. This card is so brutal, and the fact it gives you 3 copies. During their turn, another player targets you with a fate action, and you may play Drained into the Jedi Arts. They do not reveal cards from the deck, but must play a hero. So, really strong when these guys are in the deck. And then we have Hunting Jedi. Another 3 copy. During your turn, if another player takes a play card action, you may play Hunting Jedi. Reveal cards from your fake deck until you reveal a hero and play it at your location. So he has lots of ways to fish characters to kill really efficiently. And of course there's this, the always one-off that gives you a point, but it's not really great. Doesn't hurt. But his main thing is, his board's pretty good. A lot of income, and he can get away with a lot of shenanigans, and that's why Grievous is pretty strong. But he's not as strong as the other lightsabing wielding non-Sith from the Clone Wars. And we'll get to that. So, here we have probably the most powerful and simplest character to play in Star Wars Villainous, Asajj Ventress. She is really good and really easy to pull off stuff. Because all she has to do are these missions, and she just tutors for them. And the effect's not that hard to pull off because it's a free ambition action. She just has to do, 3 out of the 5, I believe? Yeah, do 3 missions. It's broken. It costs nothing to bring them or get them out and play, and she can just get all 5 of them. Granted, it does cost 1 extra ambition for each ambition already in play, but not that hard. She gets ambition for hanging out with Night Sisters. When Night Sisters play, gain 1 ambition and 1 ambition for every ally at this location. And your opponent usually wants to, when he fates you, dump out these clone troopers. Which, yeah, there's 4 of them, and you think it's going to be really easy to build up this giant army, but then she has this really powerful Assassin's Trail. Defeat all clone troopers in the sector. Gain 1 credit for each clone trooper defeated while using this card. And there's only 1 of them, except we have the Power of Sidious. And the Power of Sidious, during your turn, if another player discards more cards than you play Power of Sidious, draw villain cards, equal number of cards discarded. So it's just faster ways to cycle through, and she has 3 copies of that. Infiltration, when Ventress moves to any location with a fate card before it defeat all fate cards in the location. So yeah, just kills all stuff. Home is just really a way to get more of your Night Sisters back for free. So Ventress is pretty powerful, and the restriction card that should cripple her, no. She can't perform vanquish actions, okay. But this cost is remove 2 allies from your sector, home, and the Night Sisters kind of fix that. So watching her play and playing against her, I was just like, wow, yeah, she doesn't really need money, just ambition, and her ambition generation isn't that bad. She seems to have everything she needs to deal with that. And I thought Grievous was pretty bad because Grievous just has to kill stuff, and that's what he cares about. Ventress is often her own little personal vendetta because usually when you do these missions, it will tell you to find the target. So you already pull them out. So you pretty much know who you're looking for instead of specifics. So unlike some other characters that require you to hunt down, Vader needs to find Palpatine to turn Luke, Ventress just finds the things he needs and gets them done. So yeah, Asajj Ventress, super easy to play, and probably the most powerful character in the game because of that. I like Ventress, but I don't know if this fits the theme. Did Ventress go and do missions all the time and get praise? Because I just remember Dooku trying to kill her because Sidious said so. Grievous makes sense, he collects lightsabers. Ventress completing missions, I don't remember, but maybe in some weird wacky way that was the only thing they could figure out. So here we have Moff Gideon, and I don't really know why they make the theme thing super hard. Like, he really does fit the theme of the story from The Mandalorian. So, for Moff Gideon to win, he has to have captured Grogu and experimented on him. Grogu is really weird because he starts in the Fate deck and he can only come out and play if another hero is at a location. Yeah, if no other hero is in play, discard Grogu and then it's kind of weird. But, things that help. So, there's only one copy of Dr. Pershing, one copy of Lab Samples, and one captured. Granted, you can use the Dark Troopers to kind of do that. And he does have a good amount of the Dark Troopers. But the thing that really makes it a little bit easier than, let's say, Darth Vader, he has Beskar. So, attach it to an ally, remove it from play, and you may play a card from your hand for free. Or, pay for Fate, or Ambition. Remove Beskar, find and play hero side of your sector. So this is really the main use of this card. But it's cool because it allows you to, play things for free. But, you have to have Moff Gideon, Dark Pershing location, Dark Troopers, 1 credit. But that's really not the reason. You have to have them in play. You also have to have the lab samples, and it also gains the ambition action. But you gotta pay 5. If Moff Gideon, Grogu, and Dr. Pershing location on the villain side, you win the game. This is the only way to win the game. And it fits with how Darth Vader plays. Now, things that really kind of frustrating. As we've seen, Grogu can't come out unless he's with another guy, unless you fish him with captured or do some of the weird stuff. Really expensive. On the plus side, Moff Gideon doesn't really have a problem with ambition. But things that do hurt him. Fennec Shad. This just because the Dark Troopers are kind of expensive. Mando Dad here, 2 strength. Yeah. So, really screws up with the plan. Then we have the Jedi. Remove any Dark Troopers at Grogu's location, hero side. So I was lucky to pull this off and kill like 3 Dark Troopers. And I thought I was doing really well. Not so much. This is also another really good one, Unexpected Help. So this is another card that helps protect Grogu. But I was playing with Kylo Ren. And Kylo Ren is probably the worst character in this game. And I say that, like, not just because I don't like him. No, it's not because he, spoiler, killed Han Solo. Or, was just written very poorly. His mechanics with the theme is just awful. But we'll get to that. Next. Well, we know who should be next if Kylo's left. The OG villain that everyone loved and what made everyone love Star Wars. Edgelord Samurai Vader. Really hard. Mainly because these are really the 5 good cards in his deck. He needs Emperor Palpatine. And he needs to flip Cardboard Luke from Focused to Conflicted and have him in the throne room with the Emperor. And then you have to pay this awesome cost of 6 ambition. It's a lot. Only 1 copy. There's no fishing abilities for the Emperor specifically. In fact, you are not a Jedi during turn. If another player defeats a hero, you may play You Are Not a Jedi Yet to flip Luke Skywalker to his conflicted side. So you have to do certain cards to flip him over. Because he starts out like this. Once he's conflicted, you can move him back and forth, but there's a lot of abilities that screw him over. Let's have Release Your Anger, move Darth Vader to Luke Skywalker's current location, take 1 action at the new location, flip Luke Skywalker to his conflicted side. You cannot use Release Your Anger to perform fate actions. So he's really slow too. So as you can see, to gain 6 ambition, and a lot of these flip abilities require ambition. If Darth Vader is in a non-vehicle location, move Luke Skywalker to Darth Vader's location, and then flip him to the flip side. So it costs a lot, and here's where it gets really bad. So we got guys like Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan just screws over Darth Vader's hand. So if he just drew Palpatine, bye-bye. The X-Wing. If he just wasted all the ambition to flip Luke, well, flip him back over. Chewbacca. So one of the ways to get Luke conflicted is to kill all the allies. But you gotta play out a bunch of stormtroopers, and they're kind of weak. So losing 3 guys to Chewbacca, kind of rough. Another rough card, actually. Force is strong. Shuffle a fate, discard pile back in the deck, and play the top card. Top card is the Force strong of this one. So yeah, you just keep on doing really annoying stuff over and over again. And there's 2 copies of it, so that's pretty neat. And then we have son and father. Move Luke Skywalker one location away from the Empire's throne, flip him to the focus side. So there's just a lot of ways to ruin Vader's long-term plans. I mean, honestly, they didn't work, so maybe it makes sense. Darth Vader cannot perform ambition actions. This restriction is pretty rough, but it's also pretty easy to get rid of. So the theme here, yeah, it's on point on one of Vader's weird side goal quests. Is it fun to play? I don't think so. I didn't play it, but looking through and seeing how frustrating it was every time I fated my friend, yeah. It seems really hard. But he got back at me, because next up is Edgelord's nephew? Yeah, nephew. So you're probably getting sick of me giving so much hate to Kylo Ren. And yeah, it's because of movies, but it's also because he's just... I don't know what they were thinking with this game. So his ambition actions, he needs ambition. He actually has a whole thing that runs on ambition. And how he wins is he starts with these 6 tokens in the neutral spot. He has to get all 6 to the dark side to win. But the game thought that it was really fast for him to do all these ambition actions and spend all the ambition because he makes ambition like crazy. He just doesn't have enough actions to move tokens just straight to the dark side. But they overcompensated, and they overcompensated very badly. So bad that it goes back to let's say that Rey is a Mary Sue, which I like Rey, but yeah, explanations poorly done. So when Rey's played, move all Destiny tokens toward the light side. So if he has them in the dark side, and you're like, hey, I got 1 here and 5 here, oh, now I'm -1, back to 0, and I'm punished. Weird. Every word you said was wrong. Place 1 Destiny token to the light side, and then move 1 Destiny token towards the light side. So you can take a dark side, move it here, and then move that, and that's double back. And there's 2 copies of that. This heart and strength. Find and play Rey. Kylo Ren cannot move Destiny tokens. It's just like it crushes them. And on top of that, come home. Again, move another token. Leia. He loses all ambition, which he needs ambition to pay for all his actions. Poe actually is just crippling because he actually kind of needs his supremacy. And look, another come home. So yeah. And then we have the Falcon. When the Falcon is played, find Han. Oh, there's Han. Han is played. So yeah, everything in here pretty much cripples Kylo. The rest of the stuff is just some nonsensical, like, oh, let's give some strength tokens to make him harder to kill. But about 10 of the cards are literally cripping Kylo Ren's goal. And why his deck is bad because of how it counters it. So you have Snoke. You kind of need him. That's an ambition action. There's only 1 ambition action. Here and here and here. So you gotta move around and do stuff. It's kind of why you actually need to put the supremacy out also. And it also helps you get Snoke back. But here's the problem. We have the Knights of Ren. There's only 1 copy of the Knights of Ren. It's really weird, and I mean, I feel like that they have more film time on this card than they do in the movies, so maybe it's right. Long live the Supreme Leader. Choose a card type, reveal cards. You basically use this to fish for things like that. Palpatine's Legacy. Really powerful card, but also slows you down. You need ambition, and you need the actions. Power and Fear. Move 2 Destiny tokens towards the dark side. Now, it doesn't say take them from the light side to put them on the dark side. It says move towards, not place. And that's one of the things that makes it really slow. Really powerful card. But again, he's slow. So these are all towards. None of these actually allow him to just manipulate like the Fate deck. And that's why Kylo Ren is just terrible in this. He really needs, like, he has no problem really with ambition. He makes a lot of it, but he has to get set up for it. most of the time he's just not doing anything. And every time you do feel like you're getting ahead, everyone just kicks him back. But Ray especially, and the fact that Ray can be found with two ways. There's actually some more ways to get Ray back, which I didn't show off in here. But it's not that strong. It's just a lot of the things that affect Kylo Ren. There are more punishing effects towards him than actually like how he works. And I get the theme that he's conflicted and he doesn't know what he's doing. He wants to go to the dark side, be Ben Solo, or be Kylo Ren. Whatever. I just think that they went too far on the themes for Kylo Ren, and that is why he is the worst character in this game. So overall, what I think of this variation of Villainous Star Wars. I don't hate it. I know it sounds like I complain a lot, and I probably am. But it has a lot of good ideas. I really like the themes. I just think they could have been implemented better, and I don't know if there was a deadline. Because as marketing goes, you strike while it's hot, and Villainous is doing very well from what I understand. I like the fact they were trying new ideas. I like that they included Moff Gideon. I actually like the fact they included, like, Grievous. Because, in the movies, he's terrible. But if you remember the Genndy Tartakovsky Clone Wars, when Grievous was first introduced, oh, he was so cool. It's just like Ventress. Super cool character. And, luckily she stuck around in the Clone Wars and she got actually better. There's more backstory. She actually developed as a character. Unlike Grievous, where they just cheesed out and so it's like, yeah, let's just kill him off. Vader I'm highly disappointed in because I think it's too hard to pull off without finding enough fetch cards for him. And thematically, I just think it's very slow and kind of sloppy. But I do know that's a big part of, Legends and whatever. Kylo Ren. Honestly, I just don't like the character. And I like the design. But in general, like, the last, 3 movies, I just don't like. Moff Gideon was a huge breath of fresh air. I love the fact that they brought Moff Gideon just because he was a great character. And of course, he's very charming. So, that adds a lot. And the design of having the Dark Trooper on the back. It's just really creative and it's really nice. But I also feel like thematically he's kind of hard, except that Beskar makes up for it. I don't like this token tray at all. And it's mainly because of the credits. Why couldn't you just make them round? That would have helped so much to actually fit stuff. Like, it just doesn't work. I don't really mind the baggies for the lightsabers and Kylo Ren tokens. I can live with that. But I was just kind of wish that the tokens would snuggle in nicely, and they just don't. But at least I got my cards sleeved, and they fit, so, it's always a plus. It sticks out a little bit, but whatever. At least I can put the lid on it. But I think the game's fun. I do think with certain characters like Kylo Ren, Darth Vader, and Moff Gideon, that they are going to be a little bit harder for a younger audience to grasp. I do think that Grievous and Visage Ventress are way too easy, and probably what most people are going to gravitate towards. But every character plays kind of different. And I say kind of because, you're really focused on doing your own side project, but unless you're Ventress and Grievous, because they're just about killing 2 characters. I like the game. I didn't really pay a lot for it either. I was able to find this on sale. So, I mean, it's a Walmart game, so. But I think Disney did fairly well, or whoever makes this game, I can't remember. Oh, it's Ravensburg. Well, that makes more sense now. I really should pay attention to stuff. I haven't played the Marvel Villainous. I have it. I got that also as a gift, and it's just been sitting there. So I played the original Disney Villainous, and I know that some of the few things, like they added the 5th slot with the vehicles. It's kind of neat. Gives you more options. I like that. They are trying, and they're changing up the system and expanding on it. So I think Villainous is a very good normie game, as my friend puts it. I don't think it was meant to be anything else more than that. This was just supposed to be one of those games that people are supposed to look super deep into to have a meta and break. And with that, I think that Disney's Villainous is just, it's right in that area that makes sense for the age group. I think it's very age appropriate. I think it's family appropriate. If you play with a bunch of weird competitive people that like, hey man, I'm like 26 and I'm gonna beat up a 10-year-old at a Magic tournament, yeah, you're not gonna have a good time. Just saying, this is not a game for crazy competitive people. This is more of a relaxing, have fun, haha, whatever kids game. And I think it's good for that. And I think if you play with your nephews, siblings, whatever, to keep that in mind. You're trying to have fun and not be like screw up. Because I don't think this game is meant for that. I think this game is more of just trying to enjoy and have a good time. And there's going to be frustrating moments like all games. But I think Villainous is really about that. The spirit of the game, anyways. I don't think it's a cutthroat, competitive, rub it in your face one type game. But I can see it going down that way just because it's fandom is toxic. And I say that about Star Wars. I like Star Wars. I don't really like the fandom. Like, I kind of get it too. Like, yeah. The last three were bad. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to say they ruined Star Wars. They tried something different and it didn't work. And luckily, they fixed it with The Mandalorian. And maybe Andor will be really good. I have no idea. But I'm willing to give it a chance. And that's all I can ever tell anyone. If you don't like it, don't watch it. You didn't make the world. You didn't build it. It's not yours. But you can also hate Disney too, because I get that. But anyways, Disney Villainous, Star Wars. I think it's a pretty good game for what it is. And it is a game designed for 10-year-olds. Even says so on the back of the box. If you disagree with me and you want to have a flame war, well, I'm just going to mute you and ignore you. So, other than that, you could love me or hate me for my opinions, but I think that's what it's for. All right. Well, GG's, everyone.